Hello, I'm Czardus, and welcome back to my Cities Skylines for New Players series. Today we are going to talk about budgeting and money management. But before we get into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. I have loads of Cities Skylines content, and you will not want to miss it. Anyway, budgeting. So, we're going to talk first of all about some early thing, or like some parts when you are early in the game. The biggest thing I want to say is that early in the game, the budget is the hardest. And what you want to do is make sure you're not spending more than you need to at any point early in that period. And it becomes more of an issue later, or less of an issue later, I mean. But it's still, you'd never want to spend more than you need to in this game, but really in the beginning. So I often will use dirt roads because they are cheaper. Here, if you go into roads, you can see the regular road costs 32 cents a week and $40 dollars per cell to buy. The dirt road is $20 per cell and only 19 cents per week. So that is one part where you can really save your budget right away in the beginning, is by using dirt roads instead of other roads. In fact, even once you unlock the medium road, that's even twice as much as the regular road. And so dirt roads really make a huge difference in that early game. Another thing is that when you are unlocking different things, so let's go back here to the early milestones. You start and then you unlock and you get elementary schools at 550 people. You don't need an elementary school right when it becomes available, but they cost $10,000 to build and $160 a week to maintain. The only thing you need from this milestone is a landfill. That's the only thing that anybody's going to care about at that stage in the game. So don't spend your money building these other things. Make sure that you have the money for important stuff like a landfill and a power plant. A power plant, early in the game, you can only build coal power plant, and you need $19,000 and $560 a week just to get a coal power plant. So once you need that second one, you have to have that money to build it. So anyway, those are the main parts about the early stage, and making sure that you only spend what you need to at a time. There are tricks that you can do to kind of manipulate your budget a little bit. Once you get the budget panel unlocked, you can go into your economy and you can change your tax rates. Some people find it useful to crank your tax rates up to 11 or 12% right from the beginning. And you can do that if you want to. It will improve your income, and you can play around with that. The other thing you can do is you can go to budget, and you can modify, say, your power budget early in the game when you don't have much power need and stuff like that. And that can save you money as well. But the only thing is then you have to remember to go in and raise that back up as you need more power until you max it out, and then you build a new power plant. And that gets to be a bit more micromanagement than I tend to like to play with. You might be happy with that, so that is one option you can do. Loans, you can also at some point unlock loans, and you can get a few loans, but one thing to remember is that it's a quick amount of money. You can get here, say, look, 15% interest. You can get $200,000 in one quick loan, but it will cost you $440 a week. So you better make sure that your loan is going to, one, solve your budget issue, and two, that you use that money in a way that will more than offset that weekly cost. Otherwise, it will not be worthwhile. Going back to the taxes, I said that you can adjust these. My preference is to not touch them all that much. You can see in this pretty big city of Middleshire, I have raised it up to 11% in my industrial zone, but I've kept them at 9% in the other ones. And what I like to do is you can go back to your districts and you can change your policies. So policy, or a district by district, I can go in and I can raise taxes or lower them. Tax relief means lower taxes. Tax raise means higher taxes in that district. And so now this is a 2% raise for pretty much anything built in this district right here. And that will increase the amount of tax revenue coming out of there. Alternatively, if you go out to a different district, like out here, oh, this one doesn't have anything. Yeah, these ones, I haven't done anything, so they're at the 9% tax rate. I thought somewhere I had one that was a tax rebate or a tax relief, but I don't. But if you were to do that, like I said, it would be 2% lower. So instead of 9%, you would have 7% taxes in there. So that is kind of some of the things you can do to manipulate the tax rates there. Another thing to pay attention to would be over here in Paddy Industrial District. I have industrial. I have other things that I have planned. They are in city planning. Industrial space planning doubles the amount that you're producing in that area, but it does increase the upkeep for the area. So you want to make sure that you only do that if you are running out of space. So like this one, I didn't want to make this any bigger, so I put that on. So it increases the output of the industrial area, but it does cost me money. Filter industrial waste is another policy that just reduces pollution, but it costs money. So if you're watching your budget closely, if you're having budget issues, don't do some of these policies that cost more money unless you really need to. So that is some suggestions there. The other thing is there are some policies that you can do like citywide. If you close that, you can get, now these are citywide policies that we're looking at. You can do power usage, which will reduce the amount of power you're using, but it will cost you money per building. So theoretically, it costs less than the amount of power it would be, but I don't know. I haven't tested that exactly. There are a few, though, like free public transit, that would take out all of your ticket income. So if you go into your budget, you can see in public transit here that we have zero income from people. The train income here, that's only from tourists coming into the city. And the same with taxis. The public transit, we don't have any income because we have that citywide policy. Let's go through really quick to see what options you can see in your economy, your budget area here. On the income expense overview tab, you can just see a real quick summary of everything. You have your residential zoning, your commercial zoning, your industrial zoning. This is your industry and fishing areas. These are from DLC content. Your toll income. The city doesn't have any tolls at all. Public transit income. Weekly office income. Park area income, and campus areas. That is also DLC content there. And park area as well as DLC content. Then over here you have expenses, and that all of these icons you may know from the tabs down here. So I won't go through all of them at this point, but that gives you the quick overview. You can look at the different levels too. The city has high-level buildings, so we are getting a lot of income from the higher levels. Commercial as well, we have mostly high-level stuff in the city. You can also see we have one district that is leisure now, and that is bringing in a bit of money. Then office and industrial. This here is the zoned industry. So we have zoned farming. I don't think we have any zoned forest or oil in this city itself. We have just the DLC industry areas, and you can see we have a lot of those. They can really crank out money if you have them set up properly, which I think we might talk about in another video. But if not, I have an entire series on the Industries DLC and leveling up areas and stuff like that. Campus areas, they can bring in money too. In fact, these ones are pretty much okay. This one is barely bringing in any money, our university. But sometimes that once you get them focused, or like we're doing 3 different areas in this build, if you're focusing on just one at a time, you could get the income much higher than the expenses pretty easily. Public transit, we already looked at that. You can just get an overview of how different parts of your transit system are doing. Money spent by tourists, that is often useful to see a little bit of how things are going. And then road tolls as well. But that, then budget, again, you can adjust different things. That is about it for the budget and money management. Again, the biggest thing I can say about the budget is to just make sure you're not spending more than you need to at a time. Make sure in the early game that you're not building things that your city doesn't need. You don't need to get all of the services from day one, and then you should be okay. But that is it for today. Make sure to tune in for more helpful videos for new players and all of my other Cities Skylines content. But thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. Take care.